What's up, guys? Welcome to the Hyperbolic Time Chamber Podcast, where we pack 15 hours or days worth of content into just 1 hour. But we might go a little over an hour today because there's a lot going on.
Yep.
First of all, before I start, just want to say thank you to Anchor for holding us down every week. I know we missed a week last week, so coming back a little bit harder for you guys. Took a little break. And we got Jeffrey Louie here with us today and Ron, as always. But we got a little special guest today with us, also Melissa, also known as, I don't know if you want to use your full name or your tag. I'm sorry.
Basically got a
just
tag
go
on
with
it. Just go with it.
Yeah.
Go with
okay.
it.
All right. So this week we're going to be talking about mainly about PlayStation and all the big news about PlayStation coming out, the games, the system. So let's just jump right into it and get right into the games. All right.
Yeah, I'm excited. We're back.
So what do you guys want to start with?
Well, I'm kind of disappointed with how they presented everything because it was supposed to be the PlayStation 5 reveal, and it was more just what they're potentially releasing, and not so much about the actual console itself.
Yeah, that's true.
It was a bunch of flash, like, ooh, look at this game, look at this game. We're not going to talk about PlayStation 5 yet. And I was like, when you announce a next generation, I know the COVID stuff is going on right now. I know all this stuff is kind of new territory to the companies. But that shouldn't change like the hype levels and the amount of energy that you bring when you're announcing the next gen. To me, I agree with Melissa on this one, just because it seemed like they were like, ooh, here, look at my hand, look at my hand. We're gonna shove all the PlayStation details you want to know behind our back. We're not gonna talk about it. Just look at these games, they're cool. Like literally, you wanna come hitting hard, like, yo, okay, cool. You let off with, I think it was Spider-Man. Oh no, it's GTA. You get GTA 5
Yeah.
for free.
That was
Okay.
also another disappointment. Freaking,
Yeah.
That should be a Grand Theft Auto 6 announcement.
GTA 5. Yeah, GTA 5 again. I mean, I get it, playing devil's advocate, both sides.
They're
One,
joking it.
yeah, it's like
Oh my
Skyrim.
God.
It's literally it's Skyrim like how it was like since last year or 2 years ago. They're gonna keep re-releasing it, and they're gonna say, "Oh, hey, if you don't want it, don't buy it." And they're giving it away for free on the PS5, I think, for the first month, and
Nice.
the online and stuff. So, I mean, that's cool and all, but I'm like, hey, it is what it is. But hopefully, they are working on GTA 6. But
I'm sure they
They
are.
have to be.
They're
you,
just
you don't, yeah.
they're just milking 5 as much as they can. They recently released it on the Epic Store on PC for free, so
Mm.
they're just
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
they know people are just gonna play the online and people are spending money on it, I guess, all the DLC and stuff
Yeah.
like that. So
And to me,
it was lackluster. The conference, it
Yeah.
was very
Was.
lackluster.
it was all right. Like, if I were head of PlayStation, I would not lead off with a game that is already out. You lead off with a new
Right?
title. You lead off with a new title. Be like, bro, hey, it's in the
Yeah.
works. I don't know when it's coming. That's another scenario. You want to lead off with a game that's coming out launch
Mhm.
window or launch day or whatever, so that way
Yeah.
I have something to play on the day that I buy my PS5.
I think it's
Yeah.
just
They
they're
almost
saving.
did it right. They
Yeah.
almost did it right because the next game they announced was
Mhm.
Spider-Man. Like
Mhm.
that should
Yeah.
That should have been the first
Definitely.
one.
almost.
Yeah.
That should have been the first one.
Well, it's because GTA is a big earner, so they felt that was
Yeah.
a big one to put up front. But at the same
Rockstar
time, they're
probably paid them a lot of money to
oh
get that
yeah,
spot. I bet
yeah,
you.
for sure. Also, I mean, this is not going to be one of the last conferences. They're going to keep doing this until the release, so they're probably saving some of the big gun titles later at the tail end before release, just to keep that hype train
probably-
going.
The next
Yeah.
one they'll probably hopefully announce like the price and more detailed specs.
Yeah, I think they
This
will
is just like
for sure.
yeah, this is just the aesthetics.
I think they're waiting on Xbox again to announce their price first, and they're gonna do another. They want to do like another switcheroo on them, undercut or whatever, because they did that back in the past with the PS4 and Xbox One's
Oh, yeah.
pricing. So I feel like they're both kind of playing a little game of chicken right now, Microsoft and Sony, and they're kind of like thinking, "Oh, who's gonna put the price first? Who's gonna put it out?"
Yeah.
So,
And I mean, that's the smart thing too. Like, you don't reveal your hand until your opponent reveals their hand. And that helped out last time because I had my little Facebook memory pop up and they're like, what the advantage that Sony had was going second after Microsoft presented. They were like, yep, we're going to undercut them $100. So I could see why that they want to do that because they don't want another PlayStation 3 incident where they announce a price, then Microsoft does that and they undercut them and it becomes super expensive. Nobody basically buys it. So they don't want
They
that.
made a big mistake.
Yeah, they don't want that mistake to happen again. So I can see why. But man, I wanted a price. I wanted a price so bad.
That's the next conference, bro. I'm telling
We'll
you.
see it probably the end of summer, maybe. We'll see.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure it's rumored to be anywhere between $500 to $700, right? So
You think?
that.
I don't
Yeah,
know.
that's what
I'm,
people are-
I'm
that's what
thinking
I'm reading.
like $3.99 to like $4.99 is
You
gonna be
are-
their range.
You are super hopeful. I don't.
Well,
I hope. I hope it's $3.99 and $4.99. I hope. but
there might be a
honestly, I don't-
$3.99 model for the Xbox, but it's gonna be a weaker console. So they already had. There's already like a rumored spec, a lower version of the the new Xbox Series X, and
Yeah,
it's
they
gonna be
already have
weaker.
that. It's
So
called the Xbox One X.
that's Xbox One X. That's probably what they're maybe they'll go with that. But I mean, the question is for you guys though, when they reveal the console though, do you think the digital version of the PS5 is going to be cheaper than the physical copy? I mean, the physical. It's kind of really
Pretty sure.
unprecedented because we never had a console that was strictly just digital with no physical media disk drive, and now we have like.
Well, they did that with the Xbox. One of the Xbox was all digital.
Which one was
Yeah,
that?
but
The
Not
original?
on launch though. No, the
not on
Xbox
launch.
One
Not on
S.
launch. Yeah, it wasn't on launch, but there was an Xbox that was all digital.
The
Yeah.
original Xbox?
No,
No,
Xbox
no.
One.
Yeah.
Oh, Xbox One. Okay.
Yeah, there's an Xbox One S that's all digital, no disc drive, but that came out after. To have a generation
that one,
lead
yeah.
off with two different models at launch, this is a first.
Yeah, that's for sure.
But how do you think they're gonna format it? Do you think the one without the disk drive is gonna have a bigger hard drive or SSD capacity, maybe 2 terabytes, and then the
It might be the same.
the disk drive, might
Maybe
be
it's the
different.
same price, but then the digital version has a little bigger hard drive probably to offset the difference, and then the physical version has a
exactly.
slightly smaller hard drive. So that way,
Right.
it's not confusing because if they have it like $50 or $100 less for the one without the 4K Blu-ray drive or whatever, people will be buying the digital one probably more. But maybe that's what they
Right.
want to do though too. They want to push like more of a digital media. They just make more money that way.
That's true.
Yeah.
The digital media does make them a lot more money. They don't have to worry about
Yeah.
resales and stuff.
It's just so anti-consumer. I'm not for it. I want to get the physical disc version. I'm pretty
Yeah.
sure you guys probably want it. I know Ron wants the physical disc copy.
Yeah,
I mean, I could totally see that being the rare version of the PS5 pre-order. Like everyone's not going to really want the digital one. I mean, they'll probably just pick it up just because it's left over, but it wouldn't be
Right.
probably their first choice.
Yeah.
So,
Because-
do you guys want to go into talking about the games real quick, too?
Yeah.
If there's,
What's excited?
I'm just whatever games you guys think. Like, how do you guys feeling about like Spider-Man right now? Like, or
Spider-Man, I don't really
PC,
care too much,
any
but
of those games.
What?
I'm excited.
it's
Really?
okay. Spider-Man, like, I don't know.
Really?
I
You didn't like Spider-Man? Did you play it?
I played the original one, and I'm like probably halfway through the game, but I've never got hooked enough to
Really?
complete it. Yeah, I want to go back to
You're-
it.
You're
But
one of the first few people I heard that like weren't super hyped about it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I know.
I'm not too
Everyone who
hyped about
I've
it.
talked to was really hyped for
I think
the
it's
Spider-Man.
I think it's because I'm particularly not fond of open world games, and like so
Mm.
that's why I don't really care for the new Assassin's Creed or the new
Okay.
Spider-Man. Most of
Fair
the
enough.
Western games are all open world. I tried to get into Skyrim back in the day, Grand Theft Auto. They're all open world, and just not too into them. I don't know. I like linear
I get that.
JRPGs.
Yeah, that's fine. I get that.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Fair enough.
How about you?
Spider-Man-
How do you feel about Spider-Man?
Dude, Spider-Man looks great.
Mm.
Like, I mean, I love the trailer. I love the movie. I just picked up the game yesterday.
Yeah.
I got on sale. You guys can get on sale. I think Days of Play are still going on. Maybe the last couple days. But I got it for like $20. It is really freaking fun.
Yeah.
Like you and
The
I were
combat.
talking when I picked it up, Vu. Like
Yep.
if you played the original Spider-Man, like the ones that are based off the movie back on the original
Spider-Man
Xbox and
Those are garbage.
PS2,
That was the one.
oh, those ones were great. Spider-Man 1
Spider-Man 2
and
was so
Spider-Man 2
good.
was
That
really
was the
good.
one.
Well, if you're
The
comparing the
movie-
gameplay with the new one, the gameplay is so good on Spider-Man, though. I'll give it that. Like,
Oh
the
yeah.
gameplay on PS4, it's like you feel like you're actually Spider-Man. I
Mhm.
mean,
It's
web
so
swinging
fluid.
is so good. Yeah.
It's so fluid. You the speed they give you, the feeling of speed when you go through all your swings is like you feel like you're watching the movie but playing the game,
It
Yeah.
feels like I'm Spider-Man.
Mhm.
real.
It's developed by
100%.
Insomniac Games, so the same people that make Ratchet and Clank and things like that.
Oh yeah, the new
they-
Ratchet and Clank
yeah.
game looks sick too.
So they know how to pull out the power of Sony consoles.
Yep. They were just bought by PlayStation not too long ago.
Yep.
So now they're in-house, even though like literally they've always been contracted with PlayStation, but they finally brought them in-house, and now they're in-house studio. But
It only
I'm
makes
excited-
sense. Perfect fit.
Yeah, I'm excited because it's literally like the game. I just bought it yesterday, and I'm almost 50% done with it. Like it's that fun to me.
It is.
And like the ones that I played on Xbox, original Xbox, and PS2, like the web swinging in that at the time was revolutionary because it felt like you're Spider-Man in that game too, and it was very reminiscent of that game. The only difference with that game and this game is, of course, the visual upgrade and then the web swinging. In the PS2 and the Xbox version, they had since there was limitations on the hardware. Basically, in that game, you could only swing above the rooftops, and if you fell through like halfway, then you would die. But this one, it lets you go from the top of like the Empire State Building all the way down to the ground level where you see pedestrian. That's incredible. And
yeah,
that's
the game is so detailed.
It's so fun. It's so fun. And just like you said, the movement of this game, it's so fluid and it's so good. But yeah. And yeah, I think the Spider-Man game, I was worried about it because I think Spider-Man came out 2018, like late 2018, September or something like that.
Yeah, I believe right. Yeah.
And it was a 2-year turnaround. So I was like, is this a new game? And I was like, oh, I mean, if it's a new game starring Miles, that's fine with me. But then I was looking and digging through articles. I think Insomniac came out and said that it's not a full-fledged game, so it's not Spider-Man 2.
Okay.
But it's not just a glorified DLC. So it's going to be not as long as a main game, but it's not going to be short, like a $15 one. I don't.
That's why it seems a little. It seems a little soon. Kind of reminds me of like a Last of Us DLC, like when Lost Legacy kind of version. It's a standalone game at a reduced price, but the game is also in scale a bit smaller, but still very high quality product. So it's like, in a way, it's kind of a high quality DLC. And people, when they first saw it, that's what their impressions of it too. But I'm pretty sure it should be solid.
Yeah,
a lot of people thought it was DLC, but I think I read what it said. It's not, like you said, it's not a complete sequel, but it's like enhanced, and it's supposed to expand even more onto the story of the original. Like it'll add on, so you get actually more hours out of it.
Oh,
okay.
Nice.
Yeah.
Sounds good to me. Yeah. Like I'm already halfway. I just started yesterday, and I'm halfway through the game, or almost halfway. I'm already down for more.
I like Miles Morales, anyways, the character, because from the movie it was really good.
Yeah, he's really good. I guess you can kind of think of this as like a Persona Royale, like. That's how I feel like it is.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah, I can see that.
Addition.
Speaking of Persona, Part 4 came out for PC. Persona 4 Golden, yeah, that's big news. That was such a pleasant surprise.
Thank you, Raymond, for subscribing or following us. We appreciate you.
Yay!
Yay!
But yeah, how about you, Melissa?
I haven't played the Spider-Man game. I know I was watching Vu play it, and it looked really nice. And he's actually been recommending me to play it, but I've been really lazy with work and stuff, and I haven't had the time to play.
All good.
But I do. When I saw the trailer for Spider-Man, it looked really good. And like Jeff was saying, I out of all the Spider-Mans, I think that was like one of my favorite movies.
Yeah, the one, the digital. I mean the CG one with Miles Morales. Yeah, I love that one. It was so good.
Yep. And so I'm always up for Spider-Man. Anything like superhero related, I'm always down for. That's why I was like hoping like the Avengers game, I thought it was linked to the Spider-Man game, but apparently it's not. It's its own separate thing. I'm like, why? You guys had a great Spider-Man game leading into technically like a video game MCU where you can interconnect these games. And they were like, no, it's kind of separate. But I guess it's separate for now, unless they're lying to everybody and just saving it for the release. But
it'd be a surprise. You never know.
Yeah, that'd be cool. So,
or you could be a DLC character or something like that. You know,
that'd be cool. And like, you know, have a map that goes back to New York. Like, go to Avengers Tower, stuff like that. So, but yeah, what else from the
Demon Souls remake? Oh, go ahead.
No remakes. Let's go with the new game.
I'm more excited about the remake.
New remakes.
See, that's
How do you guys
that's the thing. Yeah. Go ahead, Vu.
remakes are killing? To me, I feel like remakes are just killing everything. Everybody just wants to do
That's so
remakes for the
true.
quick dollar, and nobody wants to do new
No.
stuff. It
Yeah,
makes
I
me
agree with
mad.
that. I agree with that.
Yes, I agree to a certain extent. So I say anything that's 15 plus years old, maybe even 20 plus years old. Yes, all right, go ahead, remake it. Not something that's like 10 years old. I mean, Demon Souls, it was PS3.
That's
It wasn't
over
a
10 years
PS4.
old.
Yeah,
It's not 15, no, it's not
But
20.
but if there's a
So-
game that
Yeah,
needs to be
exactly.
remade, that one needs it because it's not on any other console besides the PS3. There's so many people that missed out on the Souls game because that's the one that started it all. And now the From Software is looking at it like, man, that game is. I mean, the Souls series is so popular now, like on Twitch. All
It is.
the Dark Souls from 1 to 3, Bloodborne. So it just makes sense to bring out Demon Souls because that's the OG. I remember me and Alan would play that back on the PS3 back in it was like
Dude.
2008. This was like high school,
Oh.
pretty much end of high school, and we would play that and
Demon
have
Souls is
so
the
much
hardest one,
fun.
too.
Yeah, it was
Yeah,
such
Demon
a.
Souls is the hardest
really
Souls
was.
game.
It is. It's like the
Mhm.
hardest one, and it had no advertisement. It was strictly word of mouth. You're kind of like one of the cool kids that knew what Demon Souls was. So it's kind of like when people talk about Dark Souls, like, hey, I played Demon Souls back in the day, like I'm an OG. So now they get to experience the original in a better.
Experience the pain, the origin of pain.
Yeah, the origin of
Yeah.
death. So
Yeah.
it's awesome.
Yeah.
I'm excited for it.
No.
That's why.
No more remasters.
Yeah, see, I'm with Vu on this one because literally, like I said, if the game's not 15 years old, 20 years old, I don't think it should be remade. Like that's like remaking the Terminator or remaking Transformers. Like Transformers came out 2007. I mean, yeah, it's 10 years old, 12 years old now, but don't remake it. Like
They
literally,
over- They oversaturated that series.
Yeah.
They made too many live action movies of Transformers. They made like 4 or 5 of them, and people got sick of it.
Yeah.
So
Right.
as long as you don't like overdo it, I guess in a series, too many remakes of it. I think Capcom's going crazy with the Resident Evil ones, but at least their remakes are pretty well done for the most
Well,
part.
see, yeah, that's the thing. Resident Evil 1, Resident Evil 2, Resident Evil 3, that's 15 plus years old. Those, and it's one of those things where they're not just up-resing it. They're not basically just taking the base game and making it 4K compatible, 1080p compatible, whatever you want to say. And they're actually building it from the ground up. Like Final Fantasy VII, built from the ground up, literally same story, but different look, different type of play style for the modern console. I get that. That's cool. Yeah,
Yeah.
literally. Demon Souls, Dark Souls, all that stuff is literally, it's going to play most likely the same because I heard it's going to be the same guys that did Shadow Colossus. What they did on that game was great. You know, Shadow Colossus was fine. That was a PS2 title. They up-resed everything to make it look like a PS4 game, but they changed the play style of it. With this one, I don't think they're going to change too much. They're basically, I think they're going to up-res it. They're going to add a little bit more in-depth probably to the story, add a little bit more there. But most of the thing, I think it's going to be the same type of gameplay. And that's why I'm like, you know,
There's
if you're
nothing
not
wrong
gonna-
with the gameplay. That's
Yeah.
why it's so good.
Yeah, but it's just like, is it really warranted? Like,
I
that's what I'm
think
saying.
I think as a
Like, you're
Souls
not really
fan,
changing anything but the graphics.
Yeah.
Why put it on a PS5? I mean, I can see if they didn't announce it as like one of that lineup, like some of these games. Personally, I think they shouldn't have been in the lineup. But if that's all you have to work with, I mean, you got to do what you got to do.
it's
I mean-
safe. I'd rather have a Demon Souls remake than like a crappy like sports game at launch, which is going to be a bunch of sports games. Yeah, I
That's
mean
true.
they're trying to really appeal to the hardcore fans, and I think the hardcore Sony fans love that announcement because of it's just one of those games that just got stuck on the PS3 platform and never
Yeah.
got ported into anything. I can understand if it got ported onto other platforms like PC and stuff like that, and there's other ways to play Demon Souls. But there
Yeah.
isn't. You need a Demon Souls copy, and those are. I mean, if you're trying to find a physical copy, that's gonna be hard because once the
Make
Souls.
it digital and just re-download the stupid game.
Oh
Like,
yeah,
it's
I think
not
it was
that hard.
free. It was free for PlayStation Plus 1 month,
Yeah,
It
long
was
time
not
ago. It was so.
unnecessary.
But I think a lot of people just. I mean, I think it's okay as long as they expand it enough where it's worth a second purchase, and hopefully it's not like a full
Yeah.
$60 price tag, maybe like $40-$50 or something, a little bit cheaper.
Yeah.
But it's probably gonna be a full price tag.
Full price game.
Yeah.
If you're leading off the PlayStation 5 basically window of games, like the launch window, is probably going to be $60. Not gonna lie.
Yeah.
And if they're
Yeah.
remaking it, that's just more of a reason. Like, hey, no, we remade it. We up-resed everything. Charge $60.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm
But-
pretty sure it's
So,
probably made from the ground up, but I digress.
Oh well.
Yeah, I think I'm just salty because I wanted a Bloodborne 2, and I saw it, and I was like, "Oh, Bloodborne 2."
Well,
No,
hey,
that might
it's
be-
not
you
over
never
yet.
know.
I mean, they might announce
you
it
never know.
later on. I was hoping for more Bloodborne as well, but
true.
what other
But
games
I'm
were you
on-
guys
yeah.
interested in
Yeah.
for?
How about you, Melissa? Yeah.
Yeah, what
keep-
were
I know-
your? Let's have Melissa take over this
Wait, what?
podcast.
What
What
do
were
you
you?
think-
What were
what do
you
you
most
think-
excited about? What did you
Yeah.
like about the conference?
Well, I don't know if you guys want to just go down the list of how they were revealing everything, because the next one that was revealed was Gran Turismo 7, and I actually was talking to Vu about this, but it's like it's kind of the same game every year. Like,
Yeah.
their graphics are really good and they're very clean and they're really good at doing that, but it's just kind of like, I don't know, it's the same thing over and over. Like, once
Dude.
you've played one Gran Turismo, you kind of
True.
played all in a
Yeah.
way.
I think they're too
I
stuck in the
It's
past.
a racing game.
It's
Yeah,
too.
it's a racing game.
I
There's
don't know how to
only
describe
so
it.
much you can do to change it. Especially as a simulator, you have to kind of keep it very strict and streamlined.
True.
It's not an arcade game. You can't change it up too much.
That's exactly
Yeah.
what it is. It's Gran Turismo. It's way too sterile. I don't know how to describe it, but it's
No, it
way
makes sense.
too. It's just way
Yeah.
too. It feels like it almost doesn't have a soul sometimes because it's trying to really stick to the old school type of ways of the predecessors of the games, but then they're not trying to adapt into something or like where Forza Horizon made it like an open world racing game or something like that. They're strictly just wanting to
Forza
make it
Horizon
a
is a completely
simulation.
different game though.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but that's where people are gravitating towards too. They're not trying to adapt to it though. It doesn't seem like they're trying to make a version where it might copy a bit from Horizon, but yeah. Plus, they take way too
Yeah.
long to come out, so I think a lot of people this generation don't even know what a Gran Turismo is. You ask like a kid, they take like
You
10
do
years to
kinda
make
lose
one.
the
Yeah,
spirit of it.
so
Yeah.
it's lost in translation.
The
Yeah.
next one
feel
was Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart. That one I'm actually interested in playing because I've played a little bit. I haven't finished the Ratchet and Clank from PS4, I think. But when I saw it, and they provided gameplay, which was nice because that was another issue that a lot of even I'm gonna take a stab at Hitman 3 for saying, "Oh, let's watch our gameplay," and it was really more cutscenes than gameplay.
Mm.
So, just being able to see the gameplay and seeing how it looks nice and it's smooth, which I really enjoy.
High frame rates. That's why I'm hoping the next generation is going to be about, which we'll probably talk about more of that later. But yeah, I'm excited for Ratchet and Clank. I like that one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like,
Yeah. Go ahead.
what was Gran Turismo 7, to go back and comment on that? Like Melissa said, Gran Turismo, you played one, you played them all, and what Jeff was saying, you go back, it's like sterile because there's nothing new, there's nothing fresh. With Forza, they were getting stale because they're coming Forza 1, Forza 2, Forza 3, Forza 4. Then they were like, all right, cool. But then, like Vu said, it's an arcade game when you get into the Horizon. So that's why they
That's true.
experimented with that. So I wouldn't mind if they took Gran Turismo and were like, hey, you know what? We're going to make an arcade type of style. It's not going to be the main line, but, if we went arcade style, I might give it a chance. Like, dude, adapt from like Ridge Racer and literally, incorporate that kind of stuff and implement some of those mechanics into a Gran Turismo game.
Yeah.
Have like a crossover or something like that. Have it like arcadey because
Soft
because
reboot it. Soft reboot it.
Yeah.
It needs a reboot.
or I don't know about reboot if they changed it up because I see Gran Turismo being on the same level as Star Fox Guard. It took the what was it? Did I freeze?
No, you're in. You're in.
Hello.
I hear you. I hear you.
Here.
You're good, bro.
I feel like
Hello?
Star Fox actually took. I mean, speaking of Star Fox, that took some kind of major changes, especially when they
You talk
had.
about no Nintendo game on a PlayStation podcast. What are you doing?
Hey, Ron
Yeah,
brought it
something.
up. Ron brought it up. He said Star Fox.
No,
Just kidding.
Star Fox Guard because so when they're talking about it, Star Fox Guard meaning it took that same formula that they used from the original Star Fox
Mm-hmm.
and just copied and pasted and up-res the texture. So that's why it's sterile, because you're taking
Yeah.
an outdated type of model and trying to basically polish it up and put it on a new console with the HD graphics. That's not going to work. It doesn't translate well. That's why Star Fox
Well-
Dark didn't do well, because
But I was
that's
gonna say they're
personally what I
probably.
think.
I think like Gran Turismo itself is like such a niche audience. I know I was listening to a podcast that there's this guy who Twitch streams and he's an F1 racer. So I mean, you never know. They might be just pertaining to those kinds of people who are really passionate or, you know, really want to be an F1 driver or NASCAR or whatever, you know, you want to call it. But it's such a niche audience. So for us that we love to play games and a variety of games, maybe it's just not for us anymore. But for the other people who are super into it, maybe it's totally for them.
Yeah, it's kind of like the Call of Duty syndrome. People keep buying that every year, pretty much, and it's almost pretty much the same game. It doesn't need to change. I guess we're just
cater to the audience.
Yeah, we're just not the particular demographic. But if I were talking about like a straight simulator, yeah, Gran Turismo does knock it down. Like the feeling of the sound, the handling of the car. Their polygon cars are so good too. They put so much detail in the car, in the graphics. So I can see why they probably tried to port over some of the old models, because they put so much effort in those car models, and they're definitely the best in the business when it comes to that.
Yeah,
Definitely.
And then what was the next? Ratchet and Clank. Ratchet and Clank.
Yeah, Ratchet and Clank.
Like you said, one of the few titles in that lineup that actually showed gameplay, and I was like, "See, this is what you need to do. Don't show in the PS4 engine, in the PS4. Like, literally, give me gameplay like how they did. Like, that's what you got to do for if you're gonna spearhead a new console. Literally, show gameplay, show off what the power of the PS5 does, what the difference is. Do a side by side from PS4, PS5. I don't care. Literally, show some gameplay, so that way all these video game journalists can be like, oh, this is a PS4. This is on the PS4. This is on the PS5. Look at the difference in the textures, all this kind of stuff. But also look at this gameplay. Look at how different this is. Like, I love the concept of them going through multiple worlds and just thinking from like a developer standpoint, like how difficult that is to basically create different types of I guess animations that render in the same screen and basically change almost instantaneously on the fly. That's pretty cool. That's why I'm super excited for that game.
Yeah, I'm super excited to see that. I don't know about Vu. What about you, Jeff?
Or Ratchet and Clank?
I've been playing Ratchet and Clank since the PS2. So I've been playing all of them since, I think, first 1, 2, and 3, and then I stopped playing it and I replayed the one that came out on PS4, the I guess remake or whatever. Yeah,
I think that's a remake.
Like a reboot,
I think I picked that up on PlayStation Plus.
It's really good, dude. It's so good.
Yeah, I'll need to play it sometimes. The last one I got really into was the launch title for the PS3. I think it was like Ratchet and Clank Tools of Destruction or something like that.
Yeah.
It was one of the launch titles, and that game was like so good because the graphics at the time, and I'm sure it still holds up pretty well today, but and I believe that's all Insomniac, right? Man, they make some really crazy, graphically, powerful looking games where there's so much going on, and the frame rates are very consistent, things like that. Which I hope this generation we can expect hopefully more 60 frames per second, or more at least. I've been hearing otherwise. If you
I think 60 frames 1080p won't be a problem. That's what I feel like it won't be a problem.
But I've been hearing
4K is going to be the problem.
No, it's what they're doing. It seems like the developers are favoring favoring resolution like 4K, but they're not favoring frame rates. So I think it was Ubisoft's I believe it's called Assassin's Creed Valhalla. So they said it's going to be a solid 30 frames, but a lot of people were criticizing them where I want a performance
1080 or 30 frames 4K?
30 frames 4K, I'm pretty sure. But
okay, well that's not a big deal.
But the thing is, they haven't said anything about. They're not very confident saying that it's going to be 60 frames or anything like that. So we're hoping they make a performance mode where it could go up to like 120 frames. Like the Xbox has been touting, like, oh, games up to 120 frames. I think now in 2020 when these consoles release, and when most people's gaming PCs play well over 60 frames, I think now this is the actual jump that consoles need to have high frame rates because
the
I don't think the
problem with high-
graphics look that much better from PS4 to PS5. To be honest.
The real problems with having for high frame rate on console is that people play on TVs, and most people don't have TVs that are over 60 frames.
Yeah,
So
I think that's
they
what they
know-
were
Yeah.
thinking. Yeah.
Right. So they're like, well, if people don't have that technology, then there's no point in pushing that on the system. I feel like they're going to use it for different resources, you know.
I think it's an option because a lot of people do just play on their computer monitors. There's a lot of people that just don't even have TVs. They consume all their content on like the computer. I know a lot of people
Not
like
really.
that too.
People who play on consoles play on
No,
TV.
yeah,
they
they play
don't
on
play on
TVs.
computer. I don't know anybody. People
Yeah.
that play on computer play on monitors.
I think a lot of
That's it.
PC gamers have when they have a console.
Yeah.
If you're
Oh, they have it
if you
connected, yeah.
I'm just looking at the perspective of PC gamer. Like a casual gamer will just play on a TV, but like
Yeah,
someone who
that's the
likes
market.
the market of someone who's if they want to compete with PC, then they're going to want to have an option to play a little higher frames than at least 60. So I
Yeah.
think, and there's a lot of those people that do plug it up to the PC. I mean, it's not as big as if someone just wants to play on a 4K TV, but which is my preferred way to play on a console when possible.
Yeah, but then you got to think, consoles always are a closed system. Basically, you buy it, you open up the box, you install the game, and you're good to go. That's more of a casual thing, not getting into specs. And like Vu is saying, I have to agree with him on that. I didn't even think about that. Most of the 4K TVs, I think, cap out at 60 frames. On the I don't even know if they're high end anymore, but I don't think 120 is still a standard on 4K TVs
not
yet.
yet.
So
Not yet.
I think 30 and 60, that makes sense because, if you have TVs that are only outputting max 30 frames, there's no need to overdo it and have a clock at 60 frames if the TV can't support it. Because
I like it like this though, because if the consoles we're keeping it for the next 6 years, the next 6 years we're going to see a lot more higher frame rate TVs. So they really got to just future proof it. They're already kind of doing it now with the pro consoles, where you look at like Monster Hunter World, they have a prioritized frame rate mode, and then they have a resolution mode. As long as developers still stick with that and try to, keep two different versions, one with favoring resolution, one favoring frame rates, beautiful. That's all that needs to be done. It's just I hope that game developers just don't get lazy and just only optimize it for high frame rates. I mean, for high resolution, my bad.
Yeah, give us the option for like an optimization mode where you can upscale it to, or not upscale it. You can
just adjust it.
What's the word? Yeah, adjust it to 60 FPS. So that'd be cool. But
I don't expect it to be like where on PC you could like turn off
Just
the
optimize.
shadows or something,
Exactly.
or like turn out the anti-aliasing. No, but just optimize well. That's all. But I'm confident that's something they're gonna do. Hopefully.
Mm-hmm.
So you want to go on to the next game?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
What's the next game? Sackboy? Yeah.
No, the next game was actually Project Athia.
Oh,
that one looks cool.
Yeah. It's a Square game. Luminous Productions in Square.
Yeah, Square Enix. That was another thing that I noticed for the upcoming games was that there's a lot of female leads in these games.
Definitely.
Not so much like heavily masculine or anything, but just a lot of females. I was like, oh, that's interesting.
Yeah,
that's pretty cool. Yeah, Sony's really leaning towards opening up the whole female empowerment in video games, which is really cool.
Hey, as long as it's a good game, I'm down for it.
Yep.
Let's just not have a Last of Us 2 situation. That's all.
Dude, I don't know, man. I don't know. These games, that game still, after all the leaks on Metacritic and all the reviewers, like, dude, the average is a 96.
Yeah, but I don't really believe in reviews anymore.
I'm wondering, it still might be recency bias, blah, 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 but I want to pick up the game and see how it is myself.
Yeah, I do want to play it still. I'll probably eventually just buy it because
I'm give it a review of yourself.
Yeah, I do want to just play it and play it for myself and see. Hopefully, it's not as bad as what people said. But I did look at the reviews and it's like a 96 Metacritic out of 100 or something. It's crazy. When I read
I'm very interested because I thought all the leaks would turn people off. And people were just like, oh, no, I know the story. But to have it still, like, at least the reviewer copies, I'm excited to play it because I want to see how well it holds up.
Hopefully, all the female empowerment does bring more female gamers into the fold. That's the good thing about it. I just hope that it's not like forced on too much, where it felt like that's what people said Last of Us 2 was. But I hope it comes in like a good way. I know Horizon, for example, was that's why they're mostly
Horizon is
offbeat
solid, literally.
female leads. Yeah. Oh, that was the best
You-
trailer. I mean, I know,
Yeah.
kind of like getting ahead, but I just wanted to throw out that had the best trailer out of all of them. I think that's why they kind of kept it for the last one.
Yep.
It was really good.
Yeah.
See, but I don't know. Even that game too. That one, I'm hoping it's just not a tech demo. To be honest, I'm
Well,
hoping that game actually comes out because hey, you can announce something and literally be like, all right, yeah, we're not gonna turn it in. It was like that one tech demo that I think CD Projekt Red or no, David Cage. What's his studio? Quantic Dream. The tech demo that ended up being Detroit Becoming Human. Sorry, like blanking out. But hopefully it actually manifests into a game, not just like, oh hey, we're gonna show this and we never hear from it again. I'm hoping it
I
actually
don't
comes.
think that's gonna happen.
It's been 4 years. I think they're pretty well
Yeah.
into development for that one. But I could see that for
Especially
something
the fact
like
that Horizon is such a big name for PlayStation. I don't think they
Yeah,
would just let it
for
go
sure.
like that.
I think
Oh wait, the Project Elita or what was it?
Oh,
Not
I'm sorry.
Alita.
We got confused because we thought you were talking about Horizon.
Yeah.
No. The
Sorry.
Project
Yeah, I
Athia.
didn't know what you were talking about. Sorry.
Sorry, Project Athia. Hopefully it's not just a tech demo. Hopefully it is actually a
True.
full-fledged game.
Okay.
Because
True.
sometimes companies they put out just little, oh here, we're gonna give you a little taste. And
Ironically,
they
Square Enix is very prone to known for that. They reveal a game
That's
way
what-
too early, and it comes out like 10 years
Exactly.
later. Kingdom Hearts 3,
Exactly.
Final Fantasy 7 remake. It's like everything, and they admitted it. They said we've shown off games way too early, like barely before we even started it. Like we showed too many tech
That's what I'm
demos.
wondering.
Hopefully not
Like
the case.
don't get us all hyped up for nothing. So
Yep.
Yeah.
At least you guys get to know what the company is working on
Mm-hmm.
instead of being like, hey, what is Rockstar doing right now? Are they working on a game or are they just chilling?
I think they're
I
just
know,
chilling.
right?
They're
are.
doing the Gabe Newell
Making them
Steam
cash.
thing where we don't even think they make games anymore.
yeah, they kept that on Grand Theft Auto 5.
Yeah.
No Grand Theft Auto 6.
I mean, they did take a long time to make Red Dead Redemption 2. Their script was like really
Oh, yeah.
high, so they're probably working on it really hard. I'm sure.
Yeah.
For the
No,
next
I
Grand
don't
Theft
doubt it.
Auto.
I don't
Yeah.
doubt it.
All right, next game.
Yeah.
We're gonna have to start going fast on these.
Stray is the next game. It's by
Hey.
Interactive.
Yep.
Yeah.
And
Annapurna.
It's the one with the cat that everyone talks about. And they're
Yeah.
kind of curious as to if you are the cat playing as the cat, or is it going to be like your sidekick, your partner, something.
Ken's
That,
later.
it looks good. I like it. It looked really interesting,
Right.
especially in the setting that I was, that no humans were alive and just
Mhm.
the only,
Robots.
yeah, the
Yeah, it was all
only.
It had like what was that one
Robots
show on
and
Netflix that we watched with all those cartoons? What was that one called? Do you guys know what I'm talking about?
Which one?
That's the one that
Death
reminded me
Robots?
of.
Rettico?
Yeah,
Yeah. That
Death
that game
Robots.
kind of reminded me of that kind of like the art style of
Oh,
that
the
show.
art style.
Or- yeah.
Cool.
Great show.
I
Mm.
love that show. I recently watched it. Oh.
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah. I'm
Yeah.
Cute, like,
Stray,
fun
yeah.
game.
I thought it was Chappie at first, but then I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right. Next one
Yeah,
was
that was cool.
Returnal, I think. That one is
Returnal, yeah.
literally Live
Weird
Die
name.
Repeat. Live Die Repeat, the Tom Cruise movie.
Oh
the
yeah,
game.
that's what I was
Yeah.
thinking of. Yes. I was trying to think of there was a movie that was like this. I was like,
Yeah.
that's what it was. Yeah.
But that one, I think that one was made by what's that studio called? I forget the name, but they did Nex Machina. So they always have like killer soundtracks. So I'm excited to see that one.
Nice.
But basically, that premise is literally you keep playing from the same save point over and over and over until you do something different. I'm guessing, just like
Isn't
the
that
Live
all
Die-
video games when you die?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But I'm like, it's kind of like a isekai the game, or well, no, it's actually like it's like ReZero actually. Speaking of the, like anime, like,
ReZero, that's coming
yeah.
out soon, right? I want to watch
Yeah.
that next season.
yeah. But no, that one would be interesting. I don't know how I feel about that. How about you? How about you guys?
Yeah, it looks very interesting. It does have like I said, another female protagonist. She seems pretty cool, and the whole art style have like kind of having like that dark space future kind of art style is pretty cool. Very
It
dark.
reminded me of kind of like Death Stranding too.
Oh yeah,
I think it's the suits or
that's
something
what
like
I was
that.
watching the conference live on Twitch, and everyone in the chat was like, "What, Death Stranding? Another
Yeah,
Death
Death Stranding
Stranding?" Yeah. Oh, it was good.
Yeah, that was a good one.
Yeah. The next one is Sackboy, which I was so excited. Like
I like
literally. Oh man.
Boy.
He
Yeah.
got his
I'm
own
a
game. He's grown
Yeah.
up. Sackboy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm a huge Little Big Planet,
Yeah.
freaking
I love that.
fan for
I love that
that.
series.
I love it. So when I saw it, I was like squealing a little bit. I was at work too, which was horrible.
Oh
But
God.
I was so excited to have it again. It's like, oh, the memories.
Yeah.
Right.
But this one, it seems, I don't know. For some reason, it seems different than just regular Little Big Planet. I think it's just because they changed the camera angle. Because Little Big Planet
Yeah.
is basically PlayStation's version of platformer, kind of like a
Mario.
kid's platform. So a Mario kind of
Yeah.
aspect. But I thought it was going to
It's
be
not
Little Big Planet
before.
4. But this one is like a over the like 3/4 view over the shoulder.
Yeah.
And this
Yeah.
one looks. I mean, Little Big Planet's always been up to 4 people, I think.
Mhm.
But this one, it seems it's kind of like I don't want to say like a Mario Party, but it's kind of like more of, instead of cooperating, it's more of like a race to the end. Almost like
Ninja
a
Warrior.
Super Mario World, Super Mario 3D World, kind of ish.
Oh,
How it's like
okay.
race to the end, but you're kind of competing at the same time with other people. But that one, it seemed I'm kind of excited for that one because
Yeah.
I was like, all right, cool. We haven't had anything since Little Big Planet 3, and that was launch PS4, so that was almost 7 years ago.
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
it's time for a new
Yeah.
Little Big Planet. This one, it kind of changes the camera angle. I just want to see what new features they add, if it's new stickers or new abilities, things like that. So
So
that'll
is
be
Yeah.
this
cool.
is this gonna be like kind of
What about you guys?
a different game? Like it didn't look like it was gonna be like a Little Big Planet where you customize your
Yeah.
world. It looked like more of a
Called Little Big
standalone.
Planet. It's called Sackboy,
They,
so
they
don't get it
just
twisted.
they just call it Sackboy. What?
Yeah,
It's
it's called
called Sackboy: A Big
Sackboy,
Adventure.
A Big Adventure.
They didn't
So
seem
I
to
don't know
show
if
off
it-
any of the creation tools though. So I'm not sure.
That's why I'm wondering if it's gonna be more of just like a puzzle
Standalone.
platformer
Yeah.
where you basically race to the end against other people. Like, I mean, yeah, Super Mario 3 World's a Mario game, but this one, it feels different than Little Big Planet. So I guess
It feels like
that's the reason why.
the reason why they called it Sackboy is because it seems like it's more of a spin-off from Little Big Planet to me. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I'm thinking
Exactly.
that too. So, but yeah, it's interesting. I want to see what what is it Media Molecule that does that game?
Mhm.
Yeah, Media Molecule.
Yeah, I'm excited to see what they do. So that'll be cool.
Oh no, wait. Sumo Digital is developing this. Sorry.
Oh, Sumo Digital. Oh, it's not Media.
Oh. Okay, so it's like kind of outsourced a little bit. Okay.
Interesting.
But they sound
Yeah,
familiar, yeah. I think they've always kind of worked with them before, so.
Yep.
Awesome.
Next game.
Hmm.
Next game was Destruction All Stars. This
Oh,
one
okay.
kind of looks, or actually, it reminds me more of like Rocket League.
Mm-hmm.
Rocket
So
League.
It looks fun. I mean, I'm interested in playing it. I think it'll be best if we all played it together instead of just solo playing it. It's more like a couch game.
Yep.
Yeah,
Couch
I think
co-op?
it's gonna be the free to play at the start, the one of the bigger ones, free to play, and then you can buy loot boxes.
Nice.
That's kind of
But-
what they did with the Rocket League. It was free to play in PlayStation
Yeah,
first.
they have
Uh-huh.
like a battle pass or rocket pass and everything now. Everyone's kind of
Now
following
it
that
is,
formula, yeah.
It used to be you pay one time and then you basically pay for keys to unlock the chest and stuff, which was microtransactions, but you still have to pay for the base game. But now I think this one might be the first free to play on the PS5. So it's free to start. You can download it for free, but if you want like cosmetic items and stuff like that, skins for your cars, whatever, I think this is like one of the. I think it makes sense for this game because I wouldn't pay $60 for it, to be honest.
Yeah.
But how about you guys?
It definitely
No,
doesn't look like
not-
a $60 game, like you said. It
Yeah.
looks like a free to play and loot boxy and skins kind of game.
Mhm.
And the gameplay looks cool. It has like that, like you said. What was it? The soccer game? What is it? Rocket League.
Rocket League?
Rocket
Rocket League?
League.
Rocket League / Shoot, why can't I remember my games right now?
You said Twisted Metal.
Twisted Metal.
Yeah. Oh
Twisted
yeah.
Oh,
Metal.
Rocket League
That's what it was.
has a Twisted Metal car in the game, so yeah.
Oh yeah, exactly. Because you get
so
to
it has
blow each
that
other up and
vibe.
run each
Yeah,
other
you
over.
can.
So,
Yep.
yeah.
It has that vibe.
Yeah, that'd be cool. Yeah, no, that's the exact vibes I got. It was a Rocket League mixed with Twisted Metal, and we haven't had Twisted Metal since PS3. So
I missed that game.
yeah, and that was I
Oh.
think when they soft rebooted the Twisted Metal franchise. Literally, I didn't
Totally
see
forgot
anything.
about that.
Yeah,
Mhm.
so this one, because you can get out of the cars, or after your car blows up, I guess you have a way to
Eject.
survive. Yeah, so it'll be interesting, but hopefully, if you want to be solid one, free to play, and then charge on the back end.
Hmm.
So
All right. Next game. Melissa, you want to show us the next one?
So, yeah, it's Kenna Bridge of Spirits. It's another game that, for me, at least reminds me of Jack and Daxter, and it's with a female lead. So I don't know what else to expect. It's kind of difficult with these games because they show such a short trailer on some, and it's like, what is the story about? But it looks interesting. I don't know about you guys if you would be down to play it.
I don't know. I kind of have my I don't know, my doubts about the game yet. I'd rather wait until I see more gameplay, more
Mhm.
a little bit more about it.
Kinda early to
feel
say.
more confident. Yeah.
Yeah.
For sure.
a lot of the games they showcased, it seemed like they're all action adventure genre and action adventure heavy. You had Ratchet and Clank, you had Project
True.
Path, you had Returnal, you had Stray. I don't know how that one's gonna play. I'm still kind of curious how that one plays, but there's a lot of like action adventure in the Kenna one. I think that's the one with I think it was Ken Watanabe doing the voiceover, but it's like a Japanese I think it's in a Japanese setting or something like that. But I'm curious. The art style was a little strange to me. It reminded me of like a what is it, like a not Project Spark or a Knack kind of. It's like that really cartoon kiddish phrase kind of thing.
Okay.
Bring back Knack. Give me Knack
Yeah.
3. I didn't see it.
Yeah.
Bring back Knack
Knack 3.
again. I have
But,
Knack
yeah,
2 and I never played that. I have it though.
Knack is a good game. The multiplayer is really fun.
Yeah, I remember from part 1,
Yeah.
but
One of the few couch co-op fun multiplayer games that you play.
true.
But yeah, that one looks interesting though. So
Yeah.
we'll see how it goes.
What I'll do is I'll run through a couple games and then we can talk about each of them if you have any interest in them.
Okay.
So the next one that was shown was Goodbye Volcano High. It was
Yep.
very cartoony.
Skip that one.
Yeah, when I saw it, I was
Yeah.
like,
There's a lot of filler in this conference for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
See, that's the problem I had with this conference. There was like
Too
I said
much.
at the top of the hour, when you showcase your new generation of games or your new generation of console, you want to have the games that back it up. All this stuff, don't get me. I love indie games. I support the indie game. All this felt like indie game
This all-
potential. And I'm like,
Everything was
you
a
wanna-
tease.
you show off the power of the console. So
Yeah.
how is this? This looks like it's a $20 indie game to me. I'm like, it almost looks like a visual novel to me, to be honest.
It's a Nintendo
Yeah,
Direct.
definitely.
Yeah.
It's a Nintendo
Yeah.
Direct with a bunch of indie
Like
games.
literally, it should have been it's an indie direct, but
Yeah.
you don't show off the new generation with these
Hey.
indie games. I love indie games, but if you want to sell this product, you show off the big hitters. You get my mouth watering. You give me the Spider-Mans.
Hey,
You give
they're-
me the Rise of Zero Dawn.
They're
You
saving
give
it.
me the-
They're saving
Yeah,
their
they're
ammo. They're
saving
saving their ammo. I'm pretty sure they're
Yeah.
saving their ammo. We're
Man.
still months away from release, and this is not the last conference, so they're not gonna
That's true.
show everything off, show their whole hand, but it was serviceable. But I agree with what we were saying. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like this one. I wanted to be salivating at the launch.
I think we're just
the
so
launch of this.
impatient. We're like, we just want to break out of the house and like buy this PlayStation 5 right now. I want some sick ass games.
Yeah. All right. The next one was Soulstorm. It was another one, kind of like, like you're an alien character. There was like a little mix of like cutscene and gameplay. You kind of missed
Oddworld.
it.
Yeah.
Oddworld.
Oddworld.
That seemed
Yeah.
kind of cool. Very old school.
That's an old franchise.
That was too
which
boomer for
that
me. I
kinda
didn't.
got a remake. That was on PS1. Literally.
That's
That
hella
one was
old.
on
That's
PS1.
boomer, man.
Yeah.
That's very boomer. I mean, I
That
recognize the character, but I've never really played the
Yeah,
Oddworld game.
Abe.
Yeah.
Age Odyssey.
Next one was Ghostwire Tokyo, which was actually pretty interesting because I was like, I don't know is this supposed to be a scary or spooky kind of game, but I think it just goes through like the Japanese, like, I don't know, folk tales that they have.
Yeah,
that'd be interesting.
Like Ju-on and all that stuff.
Yes, it's like old folk tales from old Japanese folk tales, but they put it in a modern setting. So like take old horror and like old superstitious like creatures, I guess, and mythical creatures, and they put them into a modern day Tokyo.
Yeah.
This one got announced, I think, a couple years ago, and I thought it was coming out on PS4, but I guess it's coming out on PS5.
It's probably Boot Production is probably having some issues, but to me it looks like BioShock in Tokyo. It literally, it's just BioShock in Tokyo.
That is a good way to put it. Because all those like kind of elixirs and the spirits kind of reminds me of like that. Yeah.
The big daddies and everything.
That's a good analogy.
Power up.
Yep. That one, we'll see. I think what's that? I think her name is Ikumi. I forget her name, but she was the lady that presented at the Game Awards a couple years ago. I think she was helping work on that or something like that.
She got kicked off the project for some reason, but
everyone,
the internet loved her though because she's so personable and sweet. But then a few months later, she announced that she quit the project. She was the original director, or producer, or something in the game.
Okay,
I forgot her name.
I know she was attached at one point. Yeah.
Yeah, which that was unfortunate because I think the internet just loved her. The way she was on E3 on that stage and just announced the game, and now hopefully a lot of her vision still kept on with it.
Yep.
So cute.
Yeah.
All right. Next one is Jet: The Far Shore. I don't know.
I forgot that one. I forgot. Is that the one that made by Hyperlight Drifter?
It's made by Super Brothers.
Yes. The Sword of Sorcery one. Okay. So Sword of Sorcery, indie game. Great. Love the soundtrack and everything. Don't showcase it for the PS5. Literally, it's not a title that you should showcase the power of the PS5 of. I love that game. I'll buy it if you had it in an indie thing, but you don't showcase it. As a new generation, you don't showcase that game off. I mean, it'll be cool, you know.
It's weird.
That art style is very, very interesting. Like if you played Sword and Sorcery, it's an indie game, very, very cool. It's almost a pixel like a pixel style, and the soundtrack is great. But again, that was an indie title. I don't think that you should show it off. But I mean, hey, like Jeff said, maybe that's just okay. Here, this is part 1 of our part 4 conference or whatever. So they're giving us all this little stuff and leading up to the big, they're giving us the appetizers now, and then we get into the big nitty gritty meat and potatoes at the very end. So
it's they're just teasing a little bit. They'll show something better, I assume. And then it would say it's coming out in 2025 or something.
Yeah. Hey, Persona 6.
Persona 6. Persona 5 Royal 2. Another remake. 10 more remakes. Remakes for everybody.
Yep. What else?
Next couple of games, I'm just gonna spew it, is Godfall, Solar Ash, Hitman 3, Astro's Playroom, and Little Devil Inside.
I think out of all those, the only game I'm looking forward to is I don't know what Godfall is about, but Hitman 3 looks cool. Well, what is Godfall?
Godfall look like kind of like a God of War type of game. Or
it's the one that I told you that looks like Smite to me because of the way the
MOBA.
Yeah, that's kind of how I felt like that's what it's gonna look like.
Made by Gearbox, right? Yeah.
Yeah, it's a mixture of that game, Smite, kind of like a Destiny, because I think it's going to be MMO type of thing, but it's gonna. I think it's gonna be free to play. Like to me, it when they announced it a couple years ago, I'm like, I'm probably not gonna play it, but hey, I'll give it a try. But probably not the type for me, to be honest.
Godfall, yeah. To me, it's not too much of my game. It looks pretty cool, the gameplay, but I'm more into like not too much of that fantasy, medieval fantasy. I'm kind of over that kind of genre. There seems to be so many games like Bethesda makes a bunch of Skyrim games that kind of seem a little bit in that realm of fantasy. But I'm not too into that one. But
actually, I do want to talk about Bethesda later on, though.
Oh, okay.
We'll see.
Yeah, we'll see if we have time. But yeah, I'm not too interested in that one. The whole conference wasn't too interesting to me.
So that's
I think Solar.
Solar
Okay.
Ash was the Hyperlight Drifter guys. That's the one. Yeah.
That one looks cool.
Yeah.
Yep. That one, a very unique art style. Very again, a very unique art style. Very unique soundtrack. But it's an indie game.
It reminds me of like Journey, kind of.
Yeah. Yeah.
But a female doing it.
That's the theme. I'm gonna title the podcast. It's the Female Strike Back Conference. Female Sony Conference. Let's go.
Yeah.
That's what the PS5 is gonna be. It's like the all feminine system, man. Try to get.
They
all the
do. I
females
mean, it
on
does have some nice curves. The PS5. You know?
Exactly.
It's
But it's true though.
You got a nice
'cause
booty
Xbox
on
is
the
like
physical
for the bros,
copy.
That's why it's all squared.
Yeah. You got your slim version with the digital version of the PS5, and then you got the booty coming out with the
booty.
with the PS5 disc drive. It does have a weird lump. You kind of look at it. It kind of. I feel like they're low key trying to design it to have you
stop
symmetrical.
PlayStation 5.
I'm objectifying it right now. It does look a little out of place.
Right now. And then your guys' favorite game, NBA 2K21, is coming out. Oh my god!
Oh, Zion William.
Yeah,
He
balls.
came out acting. He was like, "What's up, guys? This is crazy.
Yeah.
This game's looking good." Yeah.
I mean, hey, if you're gonna pay him hella money, dude, if they paid us hella
Oh my
money to
God.
say that, I'd be like, bro, I'll hype this game up. However,
He's
you
like,
want.
"I'm at home anyways. What's up? Let's put me in the gym by myself. I'm social distancing. Let me do a 360 dunk. Okay, let's go."
Dude, the only thing I got from it, I was like, dude, okay, those beads of sweat look realistic. That's it. That's
Yeah.
2K21 in a nutshell. All right, cool.
True.
We're good. I was like, get that garbage off the screen. Oh my gosh.
That's good.
But good for him. If he get a lot of money from that deal, good for him.
The dude
applaud
barely played
for
this year, and he's probably gonna be on the cover of the new game.
Hey,
like what the heck?
I don't knock the hustle. If they're gonna pay me to
get
do
your
something,
money.
all right, cool.
Yeah,
Get
that's
your money.
true.
Get your money, man.
He has a lot of hype to live up to. That's for sure.
You hype that game up. You hype that game up however much you want. But to me, I'm like, no, I know this. Even though you get somebody, if you got Reggie Fils-Aimé, it'd be like, hey, buy 2K20. I'm sorry, Reggie.
That's good.
Oh, Hitman 3. It's made by I forget, not EA-Eidos, but they bought the IO Interactive or something like that. But they bought the rights back, so it's 100% their own property. So I applaud them for coming out with another sequel. This is the third one of this trilogy, so I applaud them. It looks really good. Astro. So the one
Wait.
thing, yeah.
But- Freaking Hitman. I'm disappointed that the guy comes out and is like, hey, here's a gameplay of Hitman 3. And it wasn't a gameplay, dude. That was like cutscenes and like, yeah.
That was not gameplay.
They shouldn't call it
Why
Hit
not?
Man. They should have called it Hit Woman. That would have been a better theme.
Wait,
Hit women.
excuse me?
Excuse me. It should be a
Maybe just
female
be a
lead at
bald
this
chick
point.
walking around.
A bald,
Hey.
yeah, a bald chick. That'd be good. That would work. And then she beats up the original Hitman. That way we have a new
Maybe the
sequel.
next
So
Next
I would
spiritual
not
successor.
mind that. If you changed up to a female assassin that was hunting down 47, I mean they've had this in the past where it wasn't, a main character, but his previous employer, the agency, had sent out a hit to kill 47. So I mean, if you told me that story, all right, I'm down for that too.
I'm sure it
Hitman,
could work. I mean,
really good franchise.
I think if any writer could make it really creative, where they could make it a female Hitman instead of that would be really ballsy, because all the Hitman series all have a male protagonist.
Yeah, you
so-
play as one
Same
character.
guy.
47.
Yeah, it's always a
Yeah.
guy.
It's
so that-
47.
Yeah, so
Literally.
that'd be kind
I
of
mean,
There's
interesting.
nobody else.
If you played as literally, if you played
It's
as
the
an
same
assassin-
dude the whole time. It's the same
Yeah, it's
Hitman.
47.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Agent 47. Even though he basically, I guess he doesn't age, or they reboot him enough to where he stays the same. Like, yeah, if they had a female assassin come after, dope, that'd be cool.
That'd be a cool little
Very interesting
conflict.
backstory. That'd be
That sounds
cool.
too like controversial though. Like
not
that'd be way
really. I
too
mean,
much.
hey, if you made a game that she was a daughter of one of the contracts that he
Okay,
had
the
to
hitman-
commit,
okay.
literally, boom,
And she's out for
You got
revenge. Like,
she's out for revenge. Yeah,
Yeah, it's not that hard.
that'd be cool.
Hmm.
So, Astro's Playroom. That one makes sense because you're going to talk about, I guess, PSVR in some sort, or you're going to talk about the Playroom, whatever. Introduce that. That makes
Uh-huh.
sense. It's a kid-friendly game. You want to have some kid-friendly games ready to go on launch for
yeah.
the PS5. So parents, can pick-
Astrobot was awesome.
Astrobot's a fun game. Yeah,
Mhm.
Astrobot's a cool game. It's like Wally and Eva or whatever.
Wally.
Wally.
And then Little Devil Inside, I forget about that game, but I think that one was.
Man, there were so many games there now. This is one huge advertisement for the games.
Yeah.
I wish they talked about
Evil and Resident Evil and
Oh, okay.
Horizon. Let's just do those two.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Resident Evil
biggest one.
Horizon.
I did the one. We'll save the best for last.
Yeah.
Oh.
So
Yep. Oh wait, hold on. Sorry. Bug Snacks, Cara Bonito did the song, so that's what I'm happy about. I don't care
Honorable
about the game.
mentions. Honorable mentions.
What else? Demon Souls the remake, and I don't care. You already heard my
Skip.
thoughts.
Yeah, we
Deathloop
talked about it earlier.
Bethesda. Deathloop about Bethesda. That one I'm super excited for because it felt like a Dishonored, and I was like, all right, cool. It's like a kick-ass type of game. All right, I'm down for it. I want to play it. Dishonored was fun. BioShock is fun. So I want to see what they do with this. And then Pragmata, I forgot what that one was about. I got to look at the trailer, but yeah, that's the other one. But back to the other meat and potatoes of this conference. Like you guys said, Resident Evil 8 and Horizon Forbidden West. Those two games. Go.
Yep, the
What's your
best
thoughts?
ones. Which one we want to talk about? Resident Evil 8 or Horizon? Guys.
Talk about whatever you guys want.
we'll go into Horizon. So yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's talk about Resident Evil 8.
Resident Evil 8? Okay. So Resident Evil 8 is probably the most exciting one that I was looking forward to because that's when they actually chose Sony as their console conference to introduce. Like, they haven't shown anything about Resident Evil 8. There's been leaks, and the leaks were all correct. That now we have Chris Redfield back, but not as a character that you would think. He's not going to be the playable character by the looks of it. It looks like he's going to be kind of that anti-hero kind of villain in a way, because if you watch the trailer, and it's kind of weird because, as Melissa said, most of the characters are all female leads, but at the end of this trailer, you see Chris shooting a female on the ground. That was pretty savage. Yeah. I was like, oh my god,
execution style.
Yeah.
And playing back.
And if you played Resident Evil 7, it looked like Mia from Resident Evil 7. So if the girlfriend of Ethan. So. Yeah. And Ethan is the main character of this game too, from Final Fantasy.
That would be wild, dude.
From Resident Evil 7. I mean, it'd be wild. Yeah. So we don't know if it's just like maybe it's just some sort of trick or whatever, but it makes sense because everything that Ethan does in Resident Evil 7 really isn't necessarily good for the trying to not spread the virus. He's just trying to save his girlfriend, out of like love, no matter if she's infected or not. It's sort of a spoiler warning, but we look at Chris Redfield. He's totally trying to stop this virus. Yeah. So he's going out murdering whoever he got to murder. Like he's been doing it for a long time. So I could see him like being kind of the villain in this situation, which is pretty interesting.
Mm-hmm. That makes sense. And that guy was thick. 3 C's.
he got big in Resident Evil 5.
He was big. I mean, dude, he was swole. He was solid.
Yeah.
Last time I saw him. Then 7, he kind of slimmed down, but no, dude, he's
back. He's back swole.
Dude, he's chunky. That boy's chunky. But yeah, no, like you guys said though, he's been doing this. He's been trying to eliminate this virus from spreading. How many games already now?
He's been in Code Veronica. He's been Resident Evil 1. He's been in 7 at the end of it. He's been in several movies, several animated movies.
6, right?
He was in. I think it was in 6 as well. Yeah. 5 and 6. Like he's in probably most of them. Yeah.
Yeah, and literally, he's been spending his entire adult life trying to eliminate.
He's going crazy.
I wouldn't put him past it. I wouldn't put it past him to basically, like you said, do anything by any means necessary to eliminate this virus, because he's like, I'm getting too old for this shit. And literally, like, he's been hunting this. He's like, I'm just done. I want it to end, please. So, but yeah, how about you guys? What are your thoughts?
Yeah, what are your thoughts on it?
I don't really have too many thoughts about Resident Evil. I don't really play a lot of Resident Evil games. I suck at horror games. I'm a little kitty cat, so I don't know. I'm whatever.
Kitty cat. Check it out. Check it out. Games. Right. Did you play 7 then? It sounds like you knew about 7. Resident Evil 7.
I watched like gameplays of it and stuff, but I never played it.
Oh, okay.
I think the last game I played was the PT game. That game.
That was pretty scary.
Yeah.
We didn't get far in PT, first of all.
We didn't. We didn't get far.
And it's short too. It's short. You didn't get far. It was good memories. PT. It was so like different for the time. But it sounds like Ron likes the lore of Resident Evil. I love the lore of Resident Evil.
I like the lore. The game I played 4. I played 5. I didn't play the remake. I played a little bit of 2 and a little bit of 3, but I watched the movies. I played some of the games. I didn't play 7. I hated 6. But I'm excited to see the franchise take the next step. I'm always excited for old franchises to take the next step. I want to see what they do with it. But I want to see what they want to do and where they want to go with the franchise. So I'm excited for them on that aspect, and I applaud the team because I know they've been working on a bunch of different ones. Like Resident Evil 2 is great. Resident Evil 3,
they're all different teams. They're all different teams. There's no way they would have made multiples of them within the years. I think this team specifically are the ones that worked on Resident Evil 7 and Resident Evil 2 remake. So and they've been working on Resident Evil 8, or AKA Resident Evil Village, since the end of probably like 7 or 6.
Probably 7. Yeah, they probably got into
it's the same team that worked 7, so that's been a little while now. So looking at it, it reminds me of Resident Evil 4, the setting. So the whole village setting kind of reminds me of a little vampires versus werewolves type of thing, which seems really cool.
Yeah,
it's supposed to be
like yeah, it looked like a Van Helsing, like a Monster Hunter type of.
Yeah, I didn't even know it was Resident Evil at the beginning. I was like, what is this? This is kind of reminds me of Resident Evil 4. It's based several years after Resident Evil 7, and you're playing as Ethan again. It looks like it's going to be a first-person shooter again, or a first-person survival. That seems to be the most popular, and that's something that recently Resident Evil kind of changed it up. It's always been kind of like a third-person survival horror. Now it's like first-person all the way now for them, because you look at all these scary PC indie games, they're all first-person, so they're kind of, taking that audience a little bit, They're the OGs of the survival horror.
See, and that's how you take an old franchise, revamp it,
modernize it,
and modernize it. If it was already scary as a third person looking over the shoulder, and now you put it in a first person. Yes,
I think first person is scarier because you just you only have that 1 degree where you're looking at, you can't really see too much behind you. But I'm really excited for it.
To finish it off with Horizon, we're like about an hour and a half now, so.
Ooh, okay,
really?
Yeah.
All right. Horizon. Go ahead, you guys.
Horizon. It looks really awesome. I'm pretty excited about it because I played the last Horizon. The game was really good, colorful, fun, great story, and this game looks like it's gonna be more of it. So with better graphics, better everything. So it looks good.
Yeah. I like Aloy as a character. She seems a very interesting character. I want to go back and finish it, the original, before if I ever touch part 2, but. Yeah, definitely. I thought the trailer, as I said earlier, was the most impressive trailer out of all of them, pretty much, with like Resident Evil 8 being the second. So, looks great.
Yeah. How about you, Melissa?
I didn't finish that part because I had a meeting. So I didn't get to catch it. But even when I saw it online and stuff, I haven't played the first one. I've only watched Vu play. So... And like I said, there's not much of a gameplay, so I can't really critique it as much as I would like.
I feel it.
Yeah.
For me, I have not played it yet. I bought the collector's edition on day 1, but I think it was because I was telling, I think it was Melissa or Vu, that I just got like almost done beating Breath of the Wild, and I was like, all right, I'm gonna take a break and go play Horizon and start that. And with Breath of the Wild, literally, you can look at something, climb it. With Horizon, you look at a ledge, you can't climb it. So I wasn't used to that. So I was like, damn, all right, cool. So that's why I kind of stopped, but I'm going to probably go back and play that one as I'm doing Spider-Man right now. But from the beginning, I loved the concept. It's the second coming of the Stone Age, where basically the apex predator, aka humans, become the hunted. The hunters become the hunted, and now technology has advanced so far that it surpassed us as the dominant species on the planet. So now we're fighting to reclaim what is essentially ours from our own creation. Yeah. That's what I loved about it. It was a futuristic type
Terminator, the video game, Skynet. No, I love the setting. I love the setting.
Yeah. And it's basically, it's a very interesting future post-apocalyptic world, if that makes sense. That's a very cool concept. I like.
Yeah.
It's colorful and not just dead like every other post.
Yeah, it's not all brown. I love the aesthetics of the graphics. The art direction is great. But the reason why I didn't really play it that much, I think it's the same reason as Ron, though, because Breath of the Wild came out like at the same time, literally.
Same week.
The reason why that was one of the open world games that I enjoy better because you could pretty much climb anything you see. But yeah, hopefully in the new version you could actually have a little bit more freedom like that.
Yeah, but this one, yeah, I'm excited because they're moving to the west, and it's going to be on the west coast, so it's going to be San Francisco locations that I saw. I think it was like an overgrown,
nice.
destructed Golden Gate Bridge. So I'm super excited to see what they do if they highlight some of the.
I think that was in the trailer, huh? Was that in the trailer a little bit? It was like cool. I was like sick.
Highlight some of the cool West Coast iconic landscapes and landmarks and stuff. That'd be cool. But yeah, I'm super excited, and Aloy's back. Aloy as a character, she's super solid. That's how you do
female
protagonists.
Yeah.
Like
there's a standard. Yeah.
Like literally, you don't be like, oh, help me, save me.
No, yeah, exactly.
She can literally fend for herself. She's a strong, independent person. She don't need no man.
As long as they make a female character that makes sense and like it has written well. Yeah. I just hope these game developers are not just putting a female character and half-assing the writing for the character.
Don't pander. Do it because you want to.
I like
write them well. That's
quality over quantity, and I think
Yeah.
Aloy was one of the ones that was pretty interesting from the get-go.
Aloy is solid. That's how you do a female character for sure.
All right.
You could do like a whole episode about that sometime.
Yeah.
There's so many.
With that, you guys are ready to check out?
Yep, I'm cool with that. That was a lot of material.
Anything else you guys want to bring up before we dip out of here?
What are your predictions of the price for the console?
Okay. For me, I think it's going to be probably $430, $530, under $600 for sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
All
right.
Ron, Melissa?
I think I said it earlier, but I was wishful thinking is $399 or $499.
Oh yeah, you did. Final answer? Okay, $399.
Yeah.
All right, cool.
We'll lock this in history. All right.
It's a $10 bet.
Yeah. Hey, I'm down for that. Shoot.
I think
that's $10 towards my PlayStation.
I think.
Go, Jeff.
I think the lowest is probably going to be $499, and they're not going to go any higher than like $600. So let's say if they have like the physical model, disc model PS5 is probably up to $600, and then maybe the digital ones could be like $500 or $550. Because I assume it's probably going to be a little bit cheaper, but they're all going to probably have the same hard drive space. So we'll see. So anywhere between $500 to $550, or $600, no more than $600. And I think that's probably anything over $600 would be probably too much for anybody.
For sure, I feel it.
Ron?
All right, and for me, 3 different scenarios. First scenario, physical is going to be 1 terabyte disk drive. Digital is going to be 2 terabyte. No disk drive. It's going to be same price on launch. It'll be $499 for that one. Second scenario is you'll have those 2 models. You'll have the separation, of course. You have the ideal model or pricing that Melissa said. $399 for the physical, $499 for the all digital. But there's the third option where it is literally the physical and the digital. The physical is 2 terabyte. The digital is 2 terabyte. They're going to be $599. Those are my 3 predictions. So depending, because they said it's $450. So I'm thinking realistically, it'll be the first scenario. It's going to be 1 terabyte physical, 2 terabyte digital. It'll be $499. But I think, like what Jeff said, it might push $600. But I don't think it'll be the good price point. Keep it at $499. Make it even better. Do what Melissa says. Listen to her. Make it $399 for the physical.
Yeah, I hope it's $399. Honestly,
I will definitely buy it if it's $399. So
if they went like $399 digital and $499 physical, I think that would be ideal.
If you did a 1 terabyte digital, 2 terabyte physical with disc tray, literally, $499, $399. Hey, all right, cool. Now we're talking. We're talking. But
cool.
Sounds good. Cool. Well, we'll know in the next few months. We'll know.
Yeah. Well, we'll find out soon. So let's dip out of here. Melissa, why don't you go ahead and shout yourself out?
What?
Shout your social.
Well, you guys can follow me on Instagram at Society's Anomaly. But before you do that, you need to be following HTC Podcast Instagram before I can approve you.
Ooh,
Oh,
heard that.
hey.
Ultimatum.
Heard that.
All right, cool. Ron, how about yourself?
No, you can shout me out literally at Ron K Kauanoe, like always, all the same. Instagram, Twitter. You shout me out on Facebook, but I don't really check it that much. But yeah, shout me out there.
Cool.
And Jeffrey, go for it.
Yep, you can find me on 350Z Time on Twitch, Instagram, Twitter, or Facebook. Especially on Twitch, I've been streaming a lot there, so you could show some love there and say hi whenever. And Ron?
And Food.
Brew?
Woo?
I think
Nope.
Boo froze on us right now. You could find
You can follow
Boo
Vu at
on Roll
at
at
Rolla
Rolla
F.
on Instagram.
Instagram.
Oh, Boo,
Oh, no.
he froze on us.
He froze at the very end.
Well, that's cool.
Oh, did we get him? Oh,
Is he
there.
back?
Oh, is he back?
I'm done.
He's
okay.
back. He's back. Oh,
Oh,
he's
he's
done. He's done.
He's done.
Done.
That's
Well,
Vu.
we'll close it out there.
Alright.
Hey, Rolla F is back.
Roll
Ooh,
underscore
what's
F.
Sorry.
Okay, go
Have a
ahead.
Good night, guys.
He's out.
Bye.
He's like, I gave up. All right.
He's like,
Thanks,
I gave
thanks
up.
for listening, everybody. Be sure
Thank
to
you,
throw a
Anchor,
5-star review.
Bye.
5-star review. Shout us out on. Find us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and Google Podcasts. But yeah, other than that, peace.
Peace out.
See ya.
Bye.